After what I just saw, I don't know where this plot's going, but I do know that for Jefferson, the deal is off. What's up, YouTubers of the world? MegaGeekMixer here to give you guys my review on this week's episode of Black Lightning. And this was all showing the aftermath of what Tavon stuff meant to people, particularly in Jefferson. It was like the final straw for Jefferson, and to the point where he's just pretty much telling Agent Odell the deal is off, and he's gonna do things his way. Unfortunately for him, that puts him at odds with his wife, Lynn, who all I'm gonna say is, Lynn, what is wrong with you, lady? Have you completely lost your mind? Oh yes, you have, because you don't know that you are taking green light drugs and it's making you addicted, and then you aren't telling your husband that you are working with Tobias Whale. Well, not exactly working with him, but you're still doing what he says. And this once again just shows that, yeah, Tobias Whale, just like the Kingpin in the Daredevil series, he's pretty much just like that. Even though he's inside the ASA's pit, he knows that Black Lightning's still out there defying orders from what Agent Odell said, as he told Lynn himself. And he now wants his own force of metahumans. But then, hey, that's what he wanted back in season 2, and that's what he's trying to get now. This time, he's using Lynn to go through with it. And while Lynn did comply with it, she did leave out at least two females that she's been working with personally to help out. And yeah, kudos to you, Lynn, but still, what is you going on being a hypocrite, telling Jefferson not to go out there to protect your family? Lady, this isn't about your family anymore. This is about Freeland. And Freeland's not taking this anymore, as the Resistance showed in this episode. They're being formed, and they are off to a slow start because they are being looked at as a bad sign to the people of Freeland. But that's the thing they already see, and they're not wasting time. They're taking action. The way they take action is by finding someone who can be the voice for the insurgents, for the resistance of Freeland. And who better do they find but that new character that showed up herself, Jamila, the one who's been going around being a reporter and stuff about everything. And she actually got invited by Bill Henderson. Yes, she got invited by Bill Henderson to be a part of it, by at first looking like it was an interrogation, but no, he was just letting her know that he wants her on this team, because she reveals the reason she's here in Freeland doing all this is because everything that the ASA is doing is wrong. Oppressing these people, being tyrants. Yeah, it's wrong. It's completely wrong. And I can't disagree with her. So I'm glad she's the voice of the insurgents and all that. And that's pretty much all there is with the insurgents right there. But still, right back on to Lynn. Being a hypocrite with saying that Jefferson shouldn't be going out and that he's doing all this not for all the kids and people who died, but he's doing this just to make himself feel better. Well, at least he's doing something for Freeland. You say you're not doing any. You're saying it's wrong not to do that, and yet look at you, you're trying to save those kids, and I'm all for that, but then you're gonna go and help Tobias Whale? Screw you, lady. What is wrong with you? Seriously. I really don't know what more to say to Lynn, because she's just pissing me off. But let's go ahead and go right on into other stuff. First off, Anissa. Oh yeah, Anissa. She was actually being the smart one in last week's episode, so to speak. But here, she decides to be an idiot. Yeah, as y'all, if any of y'all saw last week's episode, y'all know she went through with what her dad requested of her, even though she should have just said no right off the bat right there. And that was bringing Tavon in, which in the end is what indirectly caused, or better yet, caused his death. But I'll talk more on the direct and indirect here later. But either case, she ended up getting poisoned by Khalil and Tavon, and unfortunately, since Tavon's not a metahuman, he died pretty much instantly, almost instantly, but she was able to survive the poisoning from Khalil, painkiller only because of her meta gene. But instead of being smart about this, she's saying to Peter Gamby, her Uncle Gamby, that no, she doesn't want her parents to know. Yeah, you may be right, Anissa. Your parents are going through a lot, but I think your parents will want to know if you're about to die. Because think about it. Think about it. If you died without letting them know that you were going to die, how do you think that would make them feel? It would feel a lot worse than you not telling them. It would feel a lot worse than you telling them. You telling them that would have been less painful than you not telling them that. You're just lucky you stayed alive thanks to Peter Gamby, who has found out about where the poison came from and has found out that Khalil's grave is empty. So no doubt he's figuring it out. Yes, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he will guess the ASA has brought him back to life. Oh, and when Jennifer hears this news, one can only wonder what's gonna happen. That's for sure. But straight on back to Anissa, not only does she not tell her parents, but when Jefferson comes to say that he was wrong for her to do for asking her to bring Tavon there, and in the end it's what caused his death, she also takes the blame too. But then she is shunning him out and saying, and just like throwing him out, saying she doesn't want anything to do with them. Really, girl? Really? I mean, seriously. That was almost as... No, who am I kidding? It's not as worse as what her mother Lynn is doing and all that, but still, that right there, no. Come on, girl. Use your head here. That was just wrong and ridiculous and stupid. That was idiotic. Maybe stupid's not the right word, but idiotic is definitely the right word there. Seriously, girl, what were you thinking? You even keep that away from Grace, who I'm sure now after seeing all this, somehow she's going to be involved in this, which was hinted to us through the promo of what I saw before starting this review, which I'll get to here later. But as for Jennifer, after finding out that Brandon was a metahuman, she went to check up on his house so she can figure out more about him. And at first she thought he was stalking her mother. Well, that's not exactly true. No, Brandon reveals here that yeah, he's a metahuman who has the power to manipulate the earth. So basically maybe he's going to be something like Geoforce. He's not exactly Geoforce the character himself, but he might be something similar to Geoforce because he's got the powers of Terra. And I would say Geoforce, but Geoforce's powers are more lava based, and while his powers are more in the realm of Terra's powers. But even still, though, he has his powers revealed, and he's actually glad he's got someone to talk to, which is, yeah, good and all, but I still don't trust you, man. I don't really trust in most of these new characters, especially with Agent Odell and all those people he's got out there, eyes and ears everywhere you go. Nuh-uh, don't trust him. Still, though, it is great that Jennifer can have someone to talk to, but it's gonna all spin out of control when she finds out about Khalil. And now, speaking of Agent Odell, well, it looks like something happened in this episode that was completely out of nowhere. And right now, all I can say is right now, I'm not buying it. But let's just start from the beginning. As y'all know, we do know that yes, the Markovian, so-called Markovian threat is somewhat real. But it still doesn't change the fact that Agent Odell is just taking advantage of everything he is to make himself be the main villain here, even if the Markovians are the threat and a villain here. Because here's the thing, the Markovians finally make their move by going into Freeland to try to figure out what's going on in Freeland and how the metahumans are doing when they released that virus out there a few episodes back. And guess who returns? They had a bounty hunter kidnap Dr. Jace at the end of season 2 who returns in this season. We still don't know his name, but we know he's a teleporter. And yeah, very effective fighting teleporter for that matter. But when they infiltrated the ASA to get their information, they were confronted by Agent Odell. And yes, a fight broke out. And in the end of the fight, Agent Odell was shot and died. And all I gotta say to that is that I don't believe that for a minute. Yeah, I know this sounds I know that may be sounding funny and all because we saw him die right there, but come on, guys, just dying like that just don't make sense to me. I think maybe they did this because of the whole Crisis on Infinite Earth storyline is coming, and as we saw in the teaser, it's teasing to us that Black Lightning's Earth will vanish, but he will survive somehow. And well, here's what then all I can say is maybe here's what I now just came to my head. What I think it is here is that yes, Agent Odell might exactly be dead, but when the Crisis on Infinite Earth storyline is over and done with, somehow he'll be brought back to life. Now that's just a theory that's just already came to my head right now. So here's the way I'm gonna look at it. I don't believe Agent Odell's dead, or he is dead, but he will be back to life after the whole Crisis on Infinite Earth is over with. That's what I'm thinking right there. And even if not, though, if he really is dead and is not coming back, or not faking his death, then the way he went out, no, that's just anticlimactic, and it just doesn't satisfy me at all. Not at all, right there. But I guess the last thing I'll touch on is that Lynn still being that hypocrite she was being all throughout this episode and everything, goes and says she's leaving all because of Jefferson, when in reality, she's just not really telling him the truth. And she's still putting all the blame on him. Whatever, lady. Just whatever. And I'll ask for what I was saying about this whole thing about direct people responsible for Tavon's death. I'm not trying to play the blame game or anything here, but if we're gonna be honest, we have lots of people who are all connected to his death, directly, indirectly, and so forth and so on. And well, you can all just put it all out there. Me, I see it as yes, responsibilities, but that's not saying that they're bad people. Some of them, like ASA, oh yeah, they're bad, and Painkiller, he's not Khalil anymore, so he's bad. Ask for Brandon, he might still don't trust that kid, but he might have indirectly caused this by having Tavon get arrested of being a metahuman. And then Jefferson and Anissa, who Jefferson thought he should come back to see his family, and Anissa should have just said no. Now they were just doing it out of the goodness of their hearts, and yeah, that's gonna live with them. But the thing is, you gotta move on, because guys, we got enough of this whole guilt-ridden stuff going on in Titans right now with Grayson and everything. But either case, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it all at that. And yeah, this episode was sort of okay, but a little anticlimactic at that end there with Agent Odell. But I'm gonna go ahead and leave it all at that, guys. And hey, if you're enjoying my videos, all you gotta do is click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified of when I make more videos. And until then, MegaGeekMixer signing out. Bye!